Alright, so you have decided to watch part 2, which is this video, of how to select the correct web hosting company for you. And I'm glad you did, because I got some good stuff to tell you. Part 1 is, of course, if you aren't new to free web advice, but if you are, let me explain to you. You're going to want to watch part 1 if you want just the bare bones, but all of the facts, all of the tips to select the correct web hosting company. This particular video, the part 2s, are going to be emphasis on the most important elements of the part 1 video, of the primary tips. So let's go ahead and get right into it, because I can talk for years. So the number one thing, and one of the most important things about selecting the correct web hosting company, is to make sure that they have great customer service. You're going to want to be able to get in contact with them. I don't care what time of day it is, whether it's a holiday, whether a catastrophe has happened. I mean, okay, maybe if a catastrophe has happened, you might not want to be able to get in contact with them, but if it is 12 o'clock, midnight, Saturday, you don't want that company to be partying like you probably were. You want them to be working diligently on your website, or making sure that your website is up. You can only assure or be sure of that if you have a company that has great customer service, and you need to be able to get in contact with them in multiple ways. I don't want none of this, oh yeah, you can email us or you can submit a ticket sort of things. I need to be able to call you, instant message you, email you, submit a ticket. You know, if you give me your home address, then fine, you know, that's great too. But I need to be able to get in contact with my web hosting's customer service. I need to be able to get in contact with them. So my number one top thing is to make sure that they have great customer service. The number 2 thing is to make sure that they have some sort of a server security. Yeah, go ahead and write that down, because I want you to be able to ask your hosting company, or ask your future hosting company, if they have some sort of a mechanism which secures their servers, because if their servers aren't secure, then your website probably won't be secure. Another thing that's very important is to make sure that that particular hosting company can accommodate your website. Not every hosting company is created equal. Not every hosting company can do what you need to do. So since that is the case, you want to make sure that they're able to do what you need them to do, which is host your website. They're hosting your baby, they're taking care of your baby. You would not put your hands in the care, your hands in the care. You would not put your baby in the hands of somebody who was not capable of taking care of it. Well, this is the reason why you contact the customer service department of your future web hosting company, or of your web hosting company, and you ask them questions like, what type of server do you use? Can you host a Joomla website? Can you host an HTML based website? Can you host a Flash website? What if I get X amount of visitors per month? What if I need more bandwidth? What if I need to have 20 websites hosted on my one website? Are my pages going to get slow? You need to be able to ask them those questions, because they may not be able to accommodate the type of website that you're looking to have. So that's definitely very, very, very important. And another thing, final thing, because I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up really quick. You can get all the tips though in part 1. We'll go to part 1, you know, the important stuff. But if you have it, if you're just doing the abbreviated version, which is what this is, then you want to make sure that the very important thing is to make sure that you check their cost. Check their cost, because web hosting companies are pretty doggone sneaky, and I love them, but I also hate them for this. You always get that introductory price. You get that $49 a year, or that $30 a year, or that $20 for the first year, and then all of a sudden you go ahead and you get to year 2, because everybody thinks that a year is a lot longer than what it is. So you go ahead and you get to year 2, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pay that same $20. Your $20 has turned into $200, and your mouth is on the floor, because you're thinking to yourself, how did that happen? Well, you've fallen for the introductory price, and don't worry about it. We all do it. It happens. It's kind of one of those things where it gives you a bit of a bump when you are just starting your business. You really don't have the $200 to pay them. But now, you know, they're going to say, yeah, you owe us $200 to host your to host your website. Pay us. You don't want to fall for the trap, because a year does come up pretty darn quick. You're going to blink and you're going to owe that money again. So when you're calling customer service, because you're going to call them and check to make sure they have great customer service, like I just said, then when you call them, make sure that they are going to give you the introductory cost and the annual cost. They're probably going to be pushing you for the introductory cost because they want you to go ahead and sign up with them, but ask them what their annual cost is. Ask them if you can pay in bulk, which I always suggest doing. If they are offering you a 3-year contract or a 5-year contract and you've got the money right then, go ahead and pay for it for the 5 years. I promise you it will benefit you in the long run, especially if you have a great web hosting company. So that's just one of those things. But definitely ask them what the regular annual cost is or what the regular monthly cost is for hosting your website. It's going to benefit you in the long run. If you follow these steps, as well as the ones in part 2, especially the ones in if you follow the steps correctly in part 1, and then you've listened to what I've been saying in part 2, and you incorporate them in your hosting selection process, then you should have no problems in the long run when it comes down to selecting the correct web hosting company for you. You're going to have longevity with that company. You don't have to worry too much about downtime. It'll just behoove you all the way around. So with that said, thank you so much for joining me. I love you, love you, love you, and I'll see you next time. This has been Free Web Advice. Deuces.
Thanks for watching. Bye.